Good morning everyone, it's Monday the 16th of June. Welcome to another one of Alan's Angling Adventures. Back on the river again today for the first day of the new river season, and I can't wait. I tell you, blimey, I couldn't sleep last night, not properly anyway. I was so excited about today, I really was. And this is what the river fishing does to you, I tell you. It does to me anyway, and I'm sure it does to a lot of other river anglers. This is a magic day, this is, it really is. The 16th of June. We're on the river, and I'll tell you exactly where I am. I'm on the Betley bridge stretch, but I'm on the Betley bridge fork stretch, so I'm on the other side of the bridge today. Now the swim I was going to be fishing, I can't fish because there's quite a bit of weed just under the surface, and it's going to make it too awkward. So I've decided to come further along here. I was going to be fishing just the other side of the bridge. There's fish topping out there as well, which is a good sign. So what I've had to do, I've had to spend half an hour trying to find a swim. I finally found one, cut the reeds back. I've had to cut a swim out for myself here, and we'll take it from here. It looks all right, it looks quite good. I've got a bank of lily pads over the far side. It looks quite tenchy actually, to be honest with you, but we'll see. Yeah, and I'll show you the swim close up in a minute. Yeah, so I'm going to be fishing on the waggler today. I've got my feeder rod with me as well, all set up ready to go, just in case. But I only really want to fish the one rod today if I can. So I'm going to start off on the waggler, and we'll take it from there, and we'll see how we go. I've got me 10-foot Omni match rod. I won't bother showing it to you. You know what it is. It's the same rod as I normally use. I've got 6-pound mainline, which is Maxima. 5-pound hook length, which is Drennan Supplex Fluorocarbon. I've got an inset waggler today because I'm not going to be casting out too far. And I've got a size 18 Drennan wide gaped hook, barbless. And I've also got all brand new line on my reel, which is fully, right to the end of the spool. So I've got brand new line, all ready to start fishing. Bait wise, I've got hemp. I've got a tin of sweet corn. I've got maggots, which are very quickly turning into casters, which I've got to be pretty quick actually, because they're turning bloody quick, I tell you. There we go. I don't mind having a few casters, but I don't want all casters. And ground bait, I've got Dynamite Silver River, which is that, which I've got knocked up in here, with some maggots, some casters, and some hemp. And I've put 4 balls of it out there, just golf size balls, down the centre, and we'll take it from there. So we're all ready to start fishing, really excited. The first day of the new season, and I'm sure a lot of you are as well. Those of you that fish the rivers will really be excited, as excited as what I am. It's flipping brilliant, I tell you. I couldn't wait to get up here this morning. So I got up here about 20 past 8, got up at 10 to 6, and got up here about 20 past 8. A little bit disappointed I couldn't fish the swim I wanted to fish, which was the swim I fished last on my last session on the last river season, when I had that nice roach. But as I say, there is some weed out further, and it would make it too awkward. So I've come along a bit further, and there's definitely fish topping up there. Species wise, anything, absolutely anything. I'll be delighted to catch just a few fish today. I've got a keep net with me. Well, enough of me waffling on. It's 20 to 10. Let's get cracking. Right, I'll give you a close up of the swim. This is the swim we've got. As you can see, look. I've got those lily pads over the far side there. And I've baited up down the centre. And we'll take it from there and we'll see how we go. So some small stuff topping up there, which is a good sign. And that sun's gone in as well. We've got some high cloud cover. Look at that there, look, do you see that? We've got some cloud cover come over. I can't wait to get out. Let's get out there. Stop waffling on, Alan. Let's get out there. Look at this. Right, okay. Started. I tell you, I'm always excited when I fish the river, but for today, I don't think I've been so excited as I am on this one, for some reason. Look at the fish topping out there, flipping hell. Right, we kick off on a single red. This is the real deal though, this is proper fishing. I mean, I enjoy fishing the lakes and that, but this, for me, this is the real stuff. This is, you know, when it gets serious now, but enjoyable. You know, as long as you don't take it too seriously, but you still enjoy it. Right, let's get started. I'm so excited. Right, finally ready to start fishing. Let's go. The first one of the new season. Make sure I've got my landing net. We have got, I might have to cut one or two of these reeds away again. We have got some weed under the water, so I'm just fishing off the bottom. I wasn't sure whether that was a bite straight away there or not. Let's try and net a white maggot, shall we? Yeah, bite straight away. Yeah, we definitely got some weed under there because it catches it as I reel in. So I might come up a bit in the water in a minute. It definitely looks like some roach out there, judging by the way the float's going. First one, yes, brilliant. First one of the new season. Great stuff. Oh, lively and all. Oh, this is brilliant. Here we go. A little rudd to start off with. We're off the mark on about the third or fourth cast. There we go. That's great. So we're off the mark with a rudd. Plenty of fish activity out there, I tell you. I don't know what that was that jumped out down there, but my god, it was big. I don't know if the camera picked it up. Just come up a fraction off the bottom now because it's getting caught on weed on the bottom. Blimey. This is a good start. This is a good start, Alan. There we are, another nice rudd. I'm getting a bite of cast out there. It's not only the anglers that can't wait to start fishing, I think the fish can't wait to start taking the bait. I think they've really in the mood for it this morning. There's definitely weed out there. You can see the way my float's lying, so you're going to have to find a spot where it's a little bit more clear. And so I've got some bread with me as well as sweet corn. hear fish fizzing out there. See that just then swimming out from those lily pads over there. I might have to come up even further in a minute. At the moment I will swing these over. If I get anything of any real size, obviously I won't. Slightly bigger rud. There we go. Oh, keep still, mate. As we know with river fishing, well, it can be like it on any sort of fishing really, but particularly on the rivers, you get a little period, where you're catching fish and you're thinking, oh, this is brilliant, this is, but it don't last. All of a sudden it starts, it goes dead. So make the most of it while we can. But at the moment it's rudd, playing ball on the opening day. So this is a nice stretchy river, this is here. I very, very rarely fish it up here on this side of the bridge. There's some really good looking swims a bit further down as well. There's one in particular that really makes my mouth water. And I might save that for the next one. We've got here another small rub. This is the smallest one so far. There we are, look. Ooh, he's falling. Fell into my tin of hemp. There we go. Here we are. And the thing is, not too much bait, just a little, you know, every so often. This is really fishing well at the moment. Another rudd, and we'll build up. See how many we can get, and I'll show you at the end of the day exactly what we've caught. I must say, I did see some bubbles just now. I definitely saw some bubbles. They look breamy to me. It's very tempting. It's very tempting to go onto my feeder, but I'm enjoying this on the float. It's working, so it's fizzing with fish out there. I tell you, I am tempted. I'm tempted to put a sleeper rod out there. I think I might do actually in a minute. I think I might do, because I could be missing a trick here. Yeah. There we go. Nothing of any size yet, but I'm not bothered about that. Quite happy to be catching these, and you never know, something else might come along. Oh, I'm so excited, really am. It's flipping brilliant, this river fishing, I tell you can't beat it. I'd swap this for catching carp and that lot on the lakes and that, all that sort of thing, any day. This for me is what it's all about. Concentrate, Alan, concentrate. As I was about to say, for me is what it's all about. There's definitely weed down there. Because when you strike into these fish, they feel bigger than what they are. And you can feel it getting caught. Look at that. Over there. Look at that. I think I'm missing a trick here. I'll tell you what, I'm going to give it another 5 minutes and I'm going to get my feeder rod set up. So I reckon there's every chance here of a bream or maybe even a tench. I might switch to the link ledger, not sure. I don't really want it interfering with when I'm float fishing. Yeah, it's all rud at the moment. There we go. Well, this is a better one. Biggest one so far. There we go. And that came on a caster. They're taking caster, they're taking red maggot, they're taking white maggot. Really in the mood for it. Almost like they couldn't wait for the 16th of June as much as what the anglers couldn't wait. I think we've all missed each other a bit. I think, I'm not sure whether to put a sleeper rod out there or not. I might do a bit later. Slightly bigger ones coming out now on caster. Oh. Now is this a roach? I'm not sure. Yes it is. A roach. Great stuff. Oh brilliant. There we are. So the first roach of the session. Oh, I'm well pleased with that. Oh, I tell you, my adrenaline is pumping so much. It's just great to be back out here again on the river. I think maybe if I don't put a feeder rod out there or something today, then I think the next one will be the next session. I've cut out a really nice swim here. So you have just got that weed. There is a bit of weed underneath the surface down there, but it's definitely fishable. So you've got all species up here. You've got all species up here. And at the moment, there we go. I think that might have been a roach actually. I was a bit quick. I should have showed you that one a bit more, but I think that was a roach. So we're starting to get roach now. I think when it's like this, you just keep going, because it will quieten down a bit at some point. and this is semi-tidal up here, so at the moment the tide's dropping. It should be for most of the session, hopefully. That shouldn't be a problem. At the moment this is a fisher cast. Oh, this is brilliant. Yeah, that is a rudd. Normally at this rate, I ain't sure I'm going to have enough memory on my camera. It's unbelievable. There we go. Oh, there we go. Get the occasional dog walker coming along here. I've put my ground bait away so it can't get that. My bag of ground bait. Oh, I've got another roach here. There we are. Seem to be getting slightly bigger fish on caster. Oh, I'll be happy with this all day, especially for the opening session of the season. Oh. Yeah, you're always hoping that the first session that goes well. There we are. I mean, last season, the first one, I had a couple of nice bream on the first session last season. I chose to start off on the feeder with chopped worm. I did think about that today, but I thought no, because this river, as some of you probably know, once it gets to autumn time, it can be out of action. You can't fish it, or you certainly can't float fish it, because of it being over its banks and all that. So while you can, let's get out there and have, get on the float, because this at the moment is absolutely brilliant. It's a fisher cast. Oh, new species. I didn't notice that. I thought it was a bit spiky. A perch. There we are. So we've had rudd, roach. Keep still, mate. Trying to escape. Come here. There we go, finally got you. The perch, there we are. So we've had roach, rudd and perch. Right, let's keep that bit of hemp going in. Not too much. Right, it's 5 to 11. What I've decided to do is change the tactics. I'm going to change to a feeder for an hour or two, maybe hour and a half, with some Breadflake. And we're going to see if we can pick. I thought I had a tin of sweet corn with me. I forgot to bring it with me, didn't I? So I haven't got it. But I've got bread anyway. And what I'm going to do, I've got a small ground bait feeder, and I'm going to flick that out just this side of those lily pads, and we'll see if we can pick up either a bream or a tench. And then we'll go back to the float a little bit later. So unless this is brilliant, I think that's what we'll do anyway. We're going to give it a go on the feeder for an hour or so, and see if we can pick up a bream or a tench, because I've seen bubbles out there and I don't really want to miss the opportunity. So let's see how we get on. And so I've got this weed on the bottom, which could prove a problem. If it is, then I'll go back to the float. I do feel I've got to give it a go. I'm fishing 6 pound line straight through on this. I just feel there's a chance of picking up a bream or a tench on this, more so than on the float. I'm very happy to be catching, there we go, the roach and the rudd on the float, and I will go back to it if this doesn't work. Let's give it a go. You've got to be flexible, ain't you? You know, be prepared to change things sometimes. Cows over there in the field. Yeah, so it's just gone 11 o'clock now, and we've got several roach, rudd, perch in the keep net. Right, slight change. I've decided to change my float. I didn't really think it's the right sort of float for this, so I've gone to a straight waggler, and I've changed the hook size from an 18 to a 16. So just a slight change of setup. But we're doing all right. No, another rudd. There's a slight breeze picked up now. Nothing much, but just a bit of a feather on the surface. Well, time wise it's 25 to 12. I'll be having my dinner about 12:30 today. So we'll stop for 15 minutes for a bit of dinner, then we'll get back to it for the afternoon session. Oh, blimey. Come here, mate. Yeah, no, nothing any bigger at the moment. So I'm quite happy on the first session on the river to be catching these. I'm certainly not going to complain about that. As I say, there's several swims on this down here that I want to give a go that I've never fished before. That's a bit of weed, I think. Yeah. I say there's one swim in particular further down. Oh my god, it looks fantastic, it really does. And I might well try there on the next one. So basically what I've done, I've just ground baited about halfway out. And just running the float down over top of it. A little roach. As I say, catching these, you never ever know. You could come across all of a sudden something a bit bigger. Look at this, look. This is what I like about the river as well. Look at that, look. Mr. and Mrs. Swan and family. Probably on their way to church or something like that. Lovely, innit? And as I say, there's so much to see on the river. There really is. So much more. There's always something going on. It's beautiful. Nice one. Nice rud. That's a little bit further down the track. There we are. Yeah, they're certainly taking this caster, so it's not a bad thing. That I'll say about 3/4 of my maggots at least. See this float I can get, I've turned the caster, this float I can get further down. Oh, slightly bigger stamp of fish further down the track. Don't want to lose you. There we are. Keep that hemp going in. See, this is the thing, you can't, because of the weed down there, you can't fish on the bottom. You're having to fish up, which is fine because I'm still catching. But if I could get it on the bottom, fish on the bottom, have a nice clear run, I've got more chance of maybe getting a bream or something a bit bigger. But we're gradually building a weight up here, which is good. And the bites haven't really stopped coming, you know. Andrew's fishing today, I don't know where he is, but he's up there somewhere. Yeah. Maybe I'll catch up with him a bit later and see how he's got on, or getting on. Oh. Don't want to lose him. Oh, this is brilliant, this is really enjoying this today. First day back on the rivers. Most, well, all the fish are coming on caster and maggot. looks like a roach. Yes, it is a roach. Had a few roach amongst the rod. Yeah. So a mixture of roach, rudd and perch. Just the one perch up to now, but I think I'll be having my chub sessions up here instead of on the streams if I can, you know, if they're fishable. Oh. There's, as I say, there's one or two swims down there. It makes your eyes pop out. One feels a bit better. Yeah, it's a nice roach. Oh, best roach so far. There we are. Brilliant. Still catching on, sometimes it's double caster or double maggot, but it's always maggot caster, you know. Just gone a bit deeper again now. I think what I'm going to do, another 5 minutes and I'm going to have a bit of dinner. I think while I'm having my dinner, I might as well just chuck the feeder out there and leave it out there for 15 minutes while I'm having a break. Continuing to catch these roach and rudd. And now and again, just on the odd occasion, yes, I do see some bubbles down the centre there. Indicating that there's either bream or something there, something else. What I might do is take the feeder off and just put a lead shot on there. In a minute while I'm having a bite to eat. Because that swim up by the bridge, if you watched my last video on the river, I had some cracking bites, lots of bites on link ledger with breadflake, mostly roach bites, but you know, looked like they were a decent size. So I might try that in a minute, just while I'm having a break. Not sure what time I'm here till today. I won't be going any earlier than 3 o'clock, that's for sure. I'm not sure when I'm out again. I certainly will be out next week, I think. I'd like to get out again later in the week, but I'm not sure whether I can yet. But I think we'll certainly be somewhere next week. Yeah, all I've got to do on that other rod is just unhook the feeder. Unhook the feeder and put the link ledger on. Another couple of chucks before we have a break. So the summary of the session so far, been quite good. You know, quite a lot of roach, rudd and the odd perch, well, just the one perch. Oh, it's a roach. Right, with that one, we'll have a break. There we go, not bad. Right, so, you know, quite a decent, quite a good morning session. Well, it's gone midday now, it's nearly 20 to 1, so I am going to have a break, and while I have a break, I'm going to stick a link ledger out there. So, I'll get back to you. If anything happens on the link ledger while I'm having my dinner, obviously I'll let you know. But if not, I'll get back to you after I've had my dinner. So I'll see you in a minute. There's definitely bubbles out there. Definitely. I reckon there's bream out there. So let's get some Breadflake out there and see if we can get something on the link ledger. I'm definitely getting bites here. I have one just now which looked very chubby, where the rod tip started pulling forward, bending forward. If I'd left it, I might have got it, but I took it too soon. There's definitely bubbles out there. Let's see if I can show you. Now, the camera won't pick them up, but there are bubbles out there. Quite a few now. I'm not saying it was a chub, but it was a chub type bite where the rod has suddenly just gone like that, lurched forward like that, slowly. Look at those bubbles out there, look. Now I've got my Breadflake right in there. So I'm going to persevere with this for a while. It's 1:05 now. I'll be absolutely over the moon if I can pick something up on it. And again, and again. Look at that, look. Look. There's definitely something there. Definitely something on that bread. I'll switch off now, as I don't want to waste my camera, my battery and that. Anyway, no, there's something there. Yeah, I'll switch off now. Every time I say I'm going to switch off, the rod tip goes. It's definitely fish down there. Look at the ripples and that. I think what I'll do, I'll lengthen the trace, the hook length between the hook and the swivel and the lead shot, because it could be picking the bait up, feeling because I've only got a short trace on there, not very long. So I might lengthen it and see if that does the trick. It's doing it again. Don't know what they are, no idea. It doesn't look, I don't know whether it's roach or not, it doesn't look like it. The rod pulls forward and then bounces a couple of times. Look, there we go. It could be roach, not sure, look. Whatever they are, it's not, you know, they're not positive bites. Oh damn, whatever it was big. I've lost it. It looked chubby, definitely looked chubby. Look at the bubbles down there where I've lost, look, I couldn't hold it. Whatever it was, I couldn't hold it. As it snapped me. Yeah, it snapped me. £6 line straight through and it snapped me. Oh bloody hell, I couldn't hold it. It was going straight for the lily pads. I could not hold it. Oh, well, okay, we'll go again. We'll go again. That was definitely chub, definitely chub. The rod's gone like that, and it's kept going. And I've pulled back, and it started taking off. And I tried to hold it, but I couldn't. And there's a lot of weed down there as well. Oh, bugger. Right, okay. I will persevere with this. Might be a faint touch there again. This is the trouble, you see, when you've got all this weed on the bottom, they just go down there into the weed and you can't get them out. And again, and again. Definitely fish down there, and they're not small. They're not small roach and rudd. You can tell by the way the rod tip goes. They're not. You know, they're slight pull forwards, very slowly. Again there. That was a subtle one. That was. Jesus Christ, I just had another pull forward. This time you could see it wasn't on there. I'm convinced they're chub. I'm convinced they are. But they're certainly not small roach and rudd anyway. May have taken the bread. I'm going to have to try it. I'm going to have to check. No, bread's still on there. Bread's still on there. Ah, boy, this is exciting. It really is. I think we'll stick to this for a while. You know, if I'm getting chances of, you know, I mean, it's every chance, every single chance set. If I get another one on there, the same will happen again. But instead of pull forward again then. I'm absolutely oblivious to anything going on behind me or around me. Not that there is anything. All I am is just focused on that rod tip, willing it. Just there we go, there. Just went forward, then dropped back. Definitely something there again. You'd imagine though, if it was chub every time, that they would have gone by now. You know, losing that one like I did. There it goes again. It might not be chub, but they definitely look like it. Unbelievable. A second one. Unbelievable. I hooked into it, but it came off. Ah, look. Now what does that tell you? What is that? I don't know. I mean, is it? I don't know. People with more experience about it than I've got would tell me what fish that scale belongs to. There you are. Look at the bubbles down there. Oh, this is unbelievable. This is maybe they're cut then. Maybe they're not chub. but the rod tip's bending forward. Ah, there's a bit of slime. A bit of slime on the end of my line. Okay, it could be bream then. Right. Now, whatever they are, they're decent fish anyway. As you can see, I don't know whether the camera's picking it up. Constantly, loads of bubbles down the centre. Definitely fish feeding down there. I'll try and focus it on the rod tip from here, and if it does go and I've got to take it, I'm going to have to act fast and get the, because they don't know, go, take off. You can't, you know. So I don't know, that might have been a bream, it might have been a chub, I don't know, it might have been even a carp, I don't know. You saw the scowl on there, on the hook. That's 2 now, possible decent fish that I've lost on here. Definitely when I have proper chub sessions, I'm going to be coming up here. I'm not going to be fishing the streams. I will be coming up here all the time. You can fish it up here. Yeah, pull forward again then. What I'm going to do now, I want to keep this out there. I want to keep this out there. This link ledger with this Breadflake. I'm going to go back to the float and see if I can pick up some more fish on that. But we'll keep persevering out there for whatever it is that's out there. It's more straight out in front of me, really. If anything happens on it, I might have to throw my float rod down and take hold of this. Don't normally like using 2 rods at the same time on the certainly on the river. I just don't like it. But I will on this occasion. Right, see if we can pick up the bites on the camera. Just add another one. It definitely pulls. Probably won't do it now. There we go. Just a slight pull forward there. Look, there it goes. And back and look. But I've had 2 or 3 where they've carried on going. Definitely lost 1. Well, 2. 2 I've lost. First, you know, the first one was definitely a chub. I don't know what the second one was because of the carp scale that was on the hook, or because of the scale that was on the hook. I don't mean a carp scale. It could have been any, you know. It's frustrating. Go again, look, and again, look, it's a bream. It wasn't carp, it wasn't chub, it was a bream. Can we get it? I tell you, they fight much more in the river than they do in the still waters. It's a nice one as well. I can hardly get it in the net. I've got it. Yes, I've got it. I've got it. I've got it. Blimey, I'll have to start bringing a bigger net with me. Christ, I was just about to get this in there. Oh, brilliant stuff. Brilliant. Oh, it's a nice bream as well. So they weren't chub. They weren't chub. They were bream. Maybe the first one might have been, but right, it's a nice fish. It's a nice fish, it's a big one. Right, yes, let's get her out. I'll weigh her because I want to see. My biggest is £5. I don't think this goes 5, but I don't know. I doubt it, and I'll show it to you in a minute. Well, I've had to switch my second camera on. I'm glad I stuck with this tactic of the link ledger. It goes £3.5. Look at that, look at that. It's got a few marks on it, but it's a big bream. It feels bigger than 3.5. It's quite heavy. Oh, blimey O'Reilly. They put up a scrap. You know when they're on there in the river, it's not like still waters, these bream. Whether it was the first one, may have been a chub. It may well have been. It looked like it was, and then I probably spooked it, I expect. But I think there's a shoal of bream out there. They obviously are, because I'm getting these sort of bites, pull round bites, every time I put the bread out there. There we go then. A nice bream of £3.5 on the first day on the river. Great stuff. Well, they're still there. I don't want to waste this camera too much if I can help it, but I just switched it on to tell you they're still there. I had a very similar bite again just now, pulled forward. So there's obviously a shoal of bream out there. As I say, what that first fish was, I thought it was a chub, because it went after him and take off. I couldn't hold it. There's definitely something there. I won't waste the battery in this one or the memory card. I'll switch it on if something happens, or if it's something worth telling you about. Yeah, really pleasant first day's fishing on the new season here on the River Adur. Summary of the session so far: I've had several roach and rudd on the float and a perch. Lost what I thought was a chub, but it could have been a bream, but whatever it was decent. Definitely lost it. Well, I lost 2 fish actually, but managed to get a nice bream of 3.5 on the link ledger. What a great way of fishing though, this link ledger business with bread. I tell you, it's not just chub on the rivers, you know, you can catch all sorts with it, you know. It's such a simple way of setting up as well. Oh, something down there. Look at that, look at that down there. Oh. I tell you, there's some big fish in here. There are some big fish in here. That's why I love coming up here, because I know that there's some big fish up there. And it's the unknown as well, isn't it? The unknown of not quite knowing how big certain species and that, you know, you just don't really know for sure. Yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful. You can't beat river fishing, I'll tell you that now. Definitely can't. And I shall be back out again next week, hopefully anyway, somewhere on this stretch, and probably on the link ledger, but we'll see anyway. Bubbles are back again. Just had 1 or 2 taps there as well. There's definitely something there. There it goes, yes! No, is it? No, took me into the weed. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God, this is exciting stuff. It really is. Another one took me into the weed. Right, okay, personally, if I can get a second, I'll be happy. Brilliant. I'm happy with what I've caught anyway, but if I could get a second, that'd be even better. Right, let's keep going. We're in again. It's another bream, if we can get it. No. It's a nice one again. Yes, got it. Oh, Jesus Christ, this has turned out to be a brilliant session again. On the opening day of the river season. Second bream. Oh, so I think it's every bit as big as the last one. Right, okay, so we'll weigh it and then I'll show it to you. Brilliant stuff. This one is bigger. This one goes 4.5. And it's lively as well. There we are. Look at that, look. Oh, what a lump. But look at the mark on it, look. Something's had a go at it. 4.5 pounds. So it's 2 bream, one of 3.5 and one of 4.5. Oh, blimey. I tell you, soon though you've got them on there. I love river bream, I really do. But they're just like chub bites. The rod tip just pulls forward, just like a chub. Brilliant. Right, let's get her back, especially in this heat. So 2 bream now, one of 3.5, one of 4.5. Just under 1/4 to go now. I'm packing up at 3:30. Oh, there we go, there we go. Oh, I don't think it's on there. Oh, I'm really sorry about that. I don't know if you caught that. Jesus Christ. And this is how it's been. I've had several bites like that. Right, okay, just under 1/4 to go. Well, I was going to give it till 3:30. I've decided to give it till 4:45. I tell you, I've never been on this river and seen so many bream rolling. All down there. Big ones as well. It's absolutely teeming with bream in here today. There we go again. Still getting bites. Sometimes they're roachy bites, sometimes they're breamy bites. This is absolutely brilliant. I don't want to go. But the problem is my camera. I haven't got a lot left on it, so I won't waste any more, just in case I do happen to get another one. Look at that. Look, that rod tip's still bouncing around. Another 10 minutes. The bites have gone off a bit more now. They're not. I'm not getting those bream bites much now. Boy, have I enjoyed this today though. I really have. We're into the last 10 minutes now. I decided to give it till 4 o'clock. I've packed all my other stuff up, my other rod and everything. It's all put away, so it's only this one. I've really enjoyed it today. The first one of the new season. And unless anything else happens, I've ended up with 2 bream, 3.5 and 4.5. Lost God knows how many. I reckon I could have. I should have had 6 or 7. I should have done. Really. That's not exaggerating either. You know, there's been so much going on here today. If I had enough memory on my camera and I could have kept it on, you would have seen it all. You know, there's fish rolling, bream, loads of bream rolling, fish jumping, decent fish as well. Nothing to my right hand side though, nothing down that way. It's all down either in front of me or to my left. Down there. A very, very pleasant day's fishing. I've really enjoyed it. Right, let's see what we've got in the keep net. And as I say, the 2 bream I caught, I put straight back. Not bad. Not bad at all. Let's see if my camera can pick it up. There we are. That's not bad. Nearly all rudd and roach, just with the 1 perch. So that's not bad at all on the opening day, along with the 2 bream. I'm well happy with that. Right. Right, it's 4:15. I've virtually packed up now. I've just got to tie my rods on my bike on what's been a very enjoyable session. The first one of the new river season here on the river. And I've ended up with, I had 38 roach, rudd and perch in the end. I counted them and I had 38 plus 2 bream, one of 3.5, one of 4.5. And I'm telling you now, I lost what I think was a chub, and I've lost about 5 or 6, at least 5 or 6 bream. No doubt about that. I haven't been able to either haven't hooked into them properly, or they've taken me into the reed, or into the weed at the bottom. But whatever. Anyway, I'm well happy with what I've caught, definitely. But it should, in my opinion, it should have been more. I should have caught more than what I have done, because it's been absolutely teeming with bream up here today on this stretch. On what's been an absolute scorcher, really turned into a scorcher. But this is a stretch of river that I'm definitely going to be fishing more. This is the other side of Betley Bridge, and I'm going to be fishing several pegs down on this swim, and there's 1 or 2 down there. I'm actually going to go and have a look at one that I'm thinking about next time before I go. I just want to have a look at it. This one here, so I had to cut it out for myself, but as you can see, a really nice swim. Once you can cut it out, I had my secateurs with me, and in the end I made myself a really nice comfortable swim. Right, so on to the next one, which I'm hoping will be next week. And it'll be up here again, a different swim, probably a different swim, but we'll see. As I say, I'm going to go and have a look at this other one before I go and see what it looks like. So that's it really. On what's been a very enjoyable session, first one on the river. So I was so excited today, really was. I've been excited all day about coming up here. It's just different. You know, when you get fish on the river, it just seems different to getting fish, especially on these commercials. Although I don't mind fishing them sometimes when you can't fish the river, but for me this is the real deal. This really is. Right, so on to the next one, probably next week, sometime next week, and it'll be up here. Not sure what day yet, but we'll wait and see, and I'm not sure what the weather is yet. But I hope you've enjoyed the video. I've certainly enjoyed fishing here today on the River Adur, and enjoy your own angling. I hope you all have a good first day's session on the river, those of you that fish the river. I really do, you know, good luck to you all. And thank you for subscribing to my fishing channel and pressing the like button, very much appreciated, and I'll see you again on the next one. Bye for now. It's this one here. What I'll do, I'll cut this lot away, here. I reckon I can fish that in there if I can cut this away, which I'm sure I can with my secateurs. And we'll see how that goes. Right, okay. Don't think I can get in there from around here, can I? This is like blooming jungle. When I looked at this a couple of weeks ago, you could get down to it easy. Yeah, I think this is going to be the next one, probably, but we'll see what it's like. We'll see what it's like if I can get down here. as I say, it's just a matter of cutting this away here and giving myself a nice bit of room to fish, to cast out. That looks good. Right, okay, that's my lot. I'll see you later. Yeah, this is the swim I was aiming to fish, but as you can see, look at that weed just under the surface down there. It would have made it very tricky. I didn't fancy fishing. I could have fished on the inside of it, but I wanted to fish just on the corner of those reeds out there, like I did before when I was here. But as I say, it's virtually impossible with all that weed there. So I'm glad I opted for the swim I went for in the end, because it paid off.